Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. We are still here with Helen, continuing our conversation.
So, what is your program Fit for Life?
It is very personalized in that sense, depending what do you want to be, well, how fit or yeah, what's your journey? Of course, I will according to what's your goal. Let's say we take that centenarian decathlon, for example, but whatever that is, um, then it's going to be personalized. If you like swimming versus walking, if you like lifting versus dancing, but we'll make sure through that program we're hitting the elements I've mentioned earlier. We want mobility, we want strength, we want endurance, we want bone density. So spread out. And my approach as a coach in general, whether it's competitive ultra runners or fit for life people, if as every individual, all individuals are unique, and it is important to start where you are, what you like, what you dislike, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and so we're targeting all this. If let's say from day one, okay, you've never lived in your life, you've never done high intensity training, it's like new jargon for you. I'm not gonna put you all on this. It's gonna be overwhelming mentally and potentially physically, and it won't stick. So our main goal is for it to stick, so it just become part of your lifestyle. Who am I being? I'm that fit for life woman who wants to aim to do this and that. Cool. Let's work towards that. So we have a direction that is meaningful to you, and then we're incorporating those different aspects to meet the requirements as a woman, perimenopause, menopause, what I've said earlier, lift heavy stuff, do some plyometrics, jumping 2, 3, 4 times a week, small sessions. It can be incorporated into something. Let's say you like to walk in the park. Well, you can make it a game. Every time I meet a bench, I'm going to do some, cross-country ski jumps. Okay.
I think my neighbors think I'm whacked because she's had me do things out on the road when I was training, and even now. She'll be like, okay, go for 10 minutes and do 4 sets of 20 walking lunges. And I'm like, here I am walking lunges down the road, waving to people as I'm going. Like, hi, but it's just that's what she does. She does match it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna pop in for a second. And she also, even though we've worked together and we've known each other for probably the last few years and become friends, even though this was she's trained me for Devil's Den. When I wanted to redo this and get into this health journey again, she had me fill out a questionnaire. And in there were questions like, Tracy, what she was saying. What do you like to do for fun? Like, she asks where you live, and she asked what I do for a living. Like, she asked all of these questions. So our next meeting was into the why. Why do you want to do this? What's important to you? Where do you want to go? And that's where she's built my program around. My program, I would never give to anybody else because it's like I'm selfish. That's my program. She knows my why, and she knows that's gonna get it. She knows at the age of 90, I want to be climbing the mountains with my son still. She knows exactly where I want to be. So that's how she's built my program.
Awesome.
So that's
And
what
yeah,
I love about
definitely.
Helen. It's unique.
Yes. I'm in the world of coaching for a while now because I just love the complexity and the unicity of human being. We're a machine to give meaning to things. I wish, well, it would be so easy if we were just like a computer and we can just put a floppy disk in there and execute. But no, we have backgrounds, different experiences, different liking, different interests, different fear, different misbelief, different knowledge. So we have to start where the person is. What do you know? Or what do you think you know?
Right.
So many things. Oh, I didn't know. It was, again, there's more and more available knowledge for women, health and fitness. It's still, it's not easy. I wish, the educational system would be transformed so that as a very young age, we learn how our body works, whether men or women, what is nutrition, all of this. I feel it's a lack in our education system. Now I can't, point finger, or I can make it my own project, my own choice every day to, well, I'll do my part. What can I do? Educate myself. Walk the talk. And walk the talk does not mean being an expert, doesn't mean being the fittest woman on earth. It means doing the work of learning, of also sharing and inviting other women. Hey, come on in. Did you know that? And not just talk about it, but doing the action, doing the work. All right, I said, I know it is important for my health, for my fitness, and maybe today, I don't feel like doing it. But again, what's the benefit of doing it? So remind myself that, do it, so I walk the talk. Hey, I've done it. Doesn't mean I'm not struggling, but I'm doing it. I'm working it. So being a model in that sense, I invite women, and you guys are making your part in that sense with Women of Wisdom, to feed the conversation in any aspect of it, being a woman, over 40, and what it encompasses, what are the richness. And another cool thing is that it's so to be aware of where we are here in North America. There's a lot of still stereotype, again, misleading information, trend. A lot of it is marketing. You go into Japan, women that are menopause are seen as goddess. Here,
Go to Japan.
Yeah, let's go to Japan.
I want to be a goddess.
Sadly, here it's still strong that, oh, we have gray hair, and we're retired, so we're no more useful in this system. So the society will just put us aside. It's kind of sad to see this. Now let's not be at the effect of that. Be a stand for a great example still with my mom. She's like, I hate when I go to the coffee or the grocery and they're treating me like an old fragile woman. And I said, Mom, they're gonna be like that. There's gonna be a lot of people like that for the rest of your life. You can take on the project of changing these people, but good luck. What you can do is be a model. Be the opposite of what they want you to be. So instead of, oh, let me help you, madam, hey, little old lady, let me help you, open the door and take the bag for you. You can just kind of be like, thank you for your help. It's very kind, but I can do it myself. I want to do the work. So if we again say yes to that ageism wave, we're gonna just fall into that. Yeah, I'm fragile. Yes, I should not be doing this. I should not live that. I should not. No, be the opposite. Inspire the others, so that, hey, look at this woman. She stands tall, strong. Wow.
Yeah.
So it's our choice, but it requires work.
Yes. One last question. I want to be cognizant of your time. You just touched on it very, very, very slightly, and it comes to nutrition. And I know we can spend a whole nother on that, and maybe we'll have you come back and do deeper dive into nutrition. But I know you and I have a lot of conversation on it. And one of the things I was resistant to, and I've seen a change, especially this time, even more so, is my protein intake, because we always, and we see that, oh, just have a protein shake or whatever. Again, the advertisements or whatever. And you're very big in getting your protein, but getting them in natural, more, through how our real foods that we're eating. And we've discussed, you and I, plenty of times, that 80-20 rule. We both like our sweets. We both like our little pieces of chocolate. You've gone and bought me brownies when I've needed a brownie, or got me a cookie, and that whole thing. But can you just have a quick conversation? Like I said, we can have a deeper dive probably at another time. The importance of a woman, even as she ages, having that protein. And we've talked about it, like, you have me work out, and you've put right in there 30 minutes from when I've done my heavy lifting to make sure I've had 40 grams of protein. Can you just touch base on why women should not be afraid and look at protein as a fuel and a way of eating?
Yes, that's as important as, if not more, than exercising. I'll try to be succinct, but definitely it could be a
Like I
longer
said, we can have you back for
conversation.
more in depth on nutrition.
Yes, the one point overall is reframing what we think we know, because again, there was a lack of information on physiological female function up until this day. So it's still new. The information is new. So to counterbalance the effect of those hormonal changes, protein becomes your priority. So again, we should be eating more protein than men. And every time I bring this to new client, female client, they're like, oh my God, that's a lot of protein. Well, lot compared to what? To what you thought in a misleading information you had. So ditch that. It's false. It's erroneous. It's old saying. Eat a lot of protein. And you cannot overeat protein. Okay. If we eat more than what you need, your body will use, because it's one of the most complex elements compared to carb and fat, let's say. Protein is very complex. So, but it can break it down and then use it as fuel. Whereas, let's say, direct fuel would be fruits, sugar, complex sugar, or simple sugar, just to say that about protein. But protein, priority, and the timing of it. Protein compared to carbs or fat, you cannot just eat, I'm going to eat a whole chicken tonight and I'm good all the way till tomorrow night. You have to spread your intake of protein throughout your day a little bit. So 4 times a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then that snack before or after workout, to keep it simple. And yes, the timing matter. The windows are different than men. So, and we have shorter windows too, so that we can actually benefit from it. So definitely a little something 30 minutes before working out, like a 15 grams of protein. And definitely about maximum 30 to 40 minutes after your workout, about 30 to 40 grams of protein. Depends again about on your weight, your how much training you do, a couple of things, but 20 over 20 grams. Let's say I'm 120 pounds and I have a decent training regimen. I'm eating 130 grams of protein a day. I'm spreading it out. So 30 grams in the morning. It's a challenge. Like, okay, how am I gonna eat 30 grams of protein in the morning? You know, because we might be used to people toast or an oatmeal. Well, this is not enough. So again, that's another conversation, but being creative and just what fun, explore, yeah, what's 30 grams of protein? So ideally, yes, into real food. Now it may be challenging at some point, so it's okay to have some protein powder. You know, I'm just gonna add a little bit so that I can actually get to that full portion, but not go all the way over and eat protein shake as a meal, you know. But so protein is a priority for, again, all the, whatever is happening. We want to have strong bones, muscle mass, keep it. Another aspect is that is important is the quality of our carbohydrates. So we need a little bit of everything, not just, you know, protein or just carbs or not fat. We all need them. Physiology, well, nutrition, just like compared to trends, it's complex and it's boring. But physiology is the same over gazillions of years. Trends, we like novelty. We like, again, having something packaged. So we're curious, oh, keto diet, paleo diet, whatever diet, all trends. A little bit of a good quality of carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrate, quinoa, sweet potatoes, whole grains, all the beans, all the lentils, all that world. So you want those calories over low quality, processed, refined carbohydrates. We need those. And our brain function on glucose, glucose. So we need those carbohydrates. Those, again, misbelief of carbs makes us gain weight. Excuse my French, but this is bullshit. So quality carbohydrates, healthy fats. Fats are good. Fats are healthy. So avocado, nuts and seeds, olive oil. The processed fats of chips is unhealthy. And know what's important as women over 40. No drastic calorie restriction. Fasting, the whole world of fasting, whether intermittent, full, small, not for us. Man,
no, because I want to bring you back to talk about that, because I've tried the fasting thing and I am so interested to get deep with that, but I know we can't do it today, but I really would love to hear more about that from you.
No, in short, and
I knew when you brought that up, she was going to jump all over it because we've done an episode.
Yeah, and I'm really curious because, again, the trends, right? So yeah, but I'll save it for another time.
Yes, and like I'm interested in nutrition and fitness forever. I started reading books on nutrition. I was 17 while backpacking in Europe, you know. People were drinking beer. I was reading books on nutrition while hitchhiking. And I love testing, because it's one thing to, okay, this is an information, let me test it out. So I've tried it all. I've been vegan, vegetarian. I'm omnivore now. I've been fruitarian. I've done some fast because I was curious about it, and I've never been ill or sick or anything through all these different tests. But yeah, fasting. There's a lot of research, and this is what's important, and even more today because we're bombarded with social media of bite-sized information taken from the last line of a research, and then someone make a post out of it, think this is the truth. Hold on, put it into context. Oh, the research has been made on a group of men in between age and 20 and 30, which is different of a man of 70 years old. Just that. As women, are they athletes, endurance athletes, power or sprint athletes? The context matter. So there's tons of research, and being into the ultra running world, I love a podcast which is called the Ultra Science of Ultra. The guy is a PhD and only brings expert in all these different fields. And I've learned into keto through an expert on that. I'm like, is it useful for me? Yet even some expert, they're expert in their field. They're not necessarily expert in female physiology, perimenopause, menopause. So we want to look at that specific expertise where we get our information. So yes, lots of good about fasting, intermittent fasting, but it depends to whom and in what context. Men doing powerlifting, they can have benefit doing it. Endurance athlete, woman, nope, no benefit at all. And woman, detrimental. It's going to stress our body, and it will do the opposite effect. So it seems like we're very sensitive. As soon as we don't eat enough, it's a stress on our system, and it will backfire. And people are like, oh, I'm gaining weight. Oh, this, oh, that. So even myself, I'm in this world and I'm passionate about this topic. And even I get caught in those overflowing conversation that, oh yeah, can't eat too much. Oh, not too much this. And to my surprise, I've never eat that much in my life. I'm sitting at dinner, I'm eating more than my boyfriend who's twice my size. And I'm fit and healthy and not overweight at all. I have a client. I know she does not eat enough. She's an ultra runner, and her shape, her body composition, should be different as an endurance athlete. Yet, she has some extra weight, and lean mass is going down. Well, she's not eating enough. She's not timing properly her food intake. And so often, well, I'm not hungry. I'm sorry, I know. Me neither. But yes, to some level, we want to listen to how hungry we are, how thirsty we are on an everyday basis. Yet try it, just try it, and you'll be surprised. This morning I ate like a lot again, 3 eggs omelets with that high protein bread I made of there's eggs in it, there's quinoa in it, there's seeds in it in my bread. So that's a heavy loaded, nice bread. And I'm not feeling bloated. I have energy. I can focus on my work, and I'm not gaining weight. It's just great. I have the energy to lift. Yeah, and this again, it's shifting the symptoms of feeling tired or exhausted or muscle fatigue will increase as we are embarking in the journey of perimenopause and menopause if we don't address these. I have another client, she's a high-level endurance athlete, and she just turned 44. And, I keep an eye on like, any symptoms. Sometimes she would have those deep dive into fatigue, exhaustion. And I'm like, of course, she's playing big games. So it's even more important with her that really time your food intake and eat enough. I know she's not eating enough. And I'm so afraid that she's going to crash for real one day. She won't be able to get back up. So education. We need to educate ourselves, ditch the misbelief, the strong trends showing up in our social media feeds to this aspect. One thing we can all do is make sure you curate your social media feed to have quality stuff showing up. It's challenging because we can't outbeat the algorithms, but right. Okay, this person is a good expert. Let me have this one. This athlete, as is inspiring. This celebrity, let's say I like to have older women entrepreneur or actress that are embracing their gray hair and those changes, because in the end it's natural. We're not judging or questioning or pointing a kid's growing like, oh, you're growing, you're changing. This is just natural evolution. Same as aging. Aging is the same as growing. So like, oh, you're aging. Yep. Welcome to life. This is just another part of life, just like growing as you're a kid and become a teenager and become an adult. So we need to change the conversation that it's out there. And you ladies are part of this. So thank you for the work you're doing through that podcast, and keep at it.
Well, Helen, time has flown by, and thank you. And we will have you back. One with the fasting and the nutrition and everything. So thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. And to our viewers, please, if you have any questions for us, for Helen, put them down in the comment. Don't forget, if you like this episode or episodes, we're actually going to have this episode in a couple episodes. So we'll spread them out, and so make sure you watch it all. Share this with somebody that you think will benefit from this. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe and hit notifications so you know when our next episode is out. Until then, thank you.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.